All right, hey guys, this is a quick little Mod 11 review. Before your quiz tomorrow, I would make sure you take notes in your notebook. I'm just updating a couple things we did not get down. And then reminder, you have a quiz tomorrow in which you can use your notebook and a calculator. All right, in your notebook, if you still have room on the page we were working on yesterday or the last couple days, you can continue that page, or you can just make a new page that says quadratics and graphing parabolas. There was a couple things that we did not get down the last 2 days, so I want to make sure we get those examples in our notebook. So you guys can kind of put this wherever you want, but we talked about vertex form of a quadratic, and we just didn't take any notes about it. So we know vertex form looks like this. You can have y equals, and then we have a parentheses x minus h squared plus k. So this is vertex form. Now, the thing that we know about vertex form is each of the things can tell us what happens compared to a parent graph, and that's what we did not write down. So if our parent graph is y equals x squared, that's just a basic parabola, right? It kind of looks like this. Okay, each of these letters up here can tell us what happens to something, and that is what we did not write down, and which we're going to write down right now. All right, so first thing, the a value up front can tell you a couple different things. So if you want to kind of draw this going down, if a is bigger than 1, then we wrote down that it's a vertical stretch. Okay, so if that number is greater than 1, it gets like taller or narrower, but it's a stretch. If that number is between 0 and 1, so like a fraction or a decimal, it is a vertical compression. Okay, so we can get that down in our notes. And again, we did this earlier in the year, so you probably have this, but good to have it again. And then if a is negative, or if it's less than 0, which is negative, remember it's going to reflect across the x-axis. Okay, so we want to get all those things down for the a value. Okay, the next thing that we talked about was the h here in the middle. Okay, and this is kind of the weird one. The other ones are pretty good. So if it's a positive h, it's going to move left. Okay, if it's a negative h, it's going to move right, however many units that we have there. So if it's positive, it's going to move to the left. If it's negative, it's going to move to the right. Okay, and then the other letter that we had was the K, and that one's probably the easiest. If it's positive, it's going to move up. If it's negative, it's going to move down that many units. Okay, and then the last thing that we did was we said, hey, the vertex is always that h comma k, or the opposite of what h is, and then the k value. So if it's written in vertex form, you can quickly pick that out. So right below there, if you want to put this example, you'll see one like this on the test. So you might have y equals 5, and then x minus 3 squared plus 10. Okay, and you'll have to tell me, does it stretch? Does it move left? Does it move right? All that kind of stuff. So first thing I will do is I'll just draw some arrows. This is going to tell me it's going to move up 10 from the parent graph. This negative 3 tells me that it's going to move right 3, all stuff we talked about. The 5 tells me that it's going to be a vertical stretch. Okay, and that's all that would happen in this one. And then the other thing you would be able to tell me is the vertex, which is 3 comma 10, and we get that from the h and the k value. So hopefully you can just put one of those examples. Also, I guess if I made it negative, that negative sign would make it reflect. So if you want to do that, you can just make it negative as well. All right, then I also just want to make sure you have this updated in your notebook. We did this exact same thing. We might have changed a couple things, but standard form looks like this, vertex form, and then intercept form, where you find the x-intercepts, which we talked about this one more in depth yesterday. But just make sure you have this updated in your notes with anything else that you would want to add. So if you need to, pause the video and get that updated. All right, and then quick review for your test tomorrow. When you are graphing parabolas, you need to make sure you have 5 points on every single parabola that you do on your quiz tomorrow. Again, I'm not going to be here, so you guys make sure you listen to this, but 5 points on every parabola that you graph. Okay, I need to be able to clearly see how did you get those points. Did you plug it in, make a table, which is fine. Okay, did you find the y-intercept? Did you get the vertex from vertex form? Did you factor it to get the x-intercepts, which is fine too. But how did you get your points? And I should be able to see some kind of work for some of them. It would probably be helpful if you made a table, and even if you plugged in like, hey, the y-intercept was 0, comma, whatever, I got that. And then I went like around that and got those points. That would be helpful for me to see too. Remember, when you make a graph, you should have your parabola, and then you should label any special points. That one's not a great one to do, but if it was like this, I would want to see your vertex labeled and your x-intercepts and your y-intercepts with coordinates. So make sure you make a good parabola when you are doing all of your graphs. Now, every graph is a little different, every equation that I'm going to give you. So if it's written in standard form, like y equals 5x squared plus 3x plus 10, you can do it however you want. But one thing I would do is find the y-intercept first. Then I would maybe make a table of points for my other points, okay? And I would also find the axis of symmetry. So I would want to see that work, draw in your line of symmetry, and then find whatever points you want. So that is one thing that you can do tomorrow. Another type of problem that you will see tomorrow is going to be one that's written in vertex form. So you might see something like this, where you want to start by saying, hey, I can pick out my vertex pretty easy. It's 2, comma 7. Okay, I got that. I'm going to add that to my table. Okay, so here's 2, comma 7, and then I'm going to start finding some points on either side. I would draw in my line of symmetry, and I'd be like, oh, I should find 3 and 1. Those should be the same, right? I should find 4 and 0. Those should be the same. And hey, that's the y-intercept too, which is nice. And then you'll get your 5 points and graph that parabola. The next type of equation that you might see might be already in factored form. So if it's like this, and you're like, oh, okay, I can find my x-intercepts really easy because x-intercepts have a y-coordinate of 0. And then I would say, hey, okay, well, if I plug in a 5, that would make it equal 0. And if I plug in a 7, so good news, I have my 2 x-intercepts, which is super nice. Now I know my vertex has to be right between them. So I could say, hey, 5 plus 7, and then divide by 2. That's 12 divided by 2 is 6. I know my vertex is at 6, comma something. Well, then I can just plug in a 6 and find my other coordinates. So if I plug in a 6 here, 6 minus 5 is 1. 6 minus 7 is negative 1. It looks like it's 6, comma negative 1. Okay, and there I have 3 points already. I would just want to find 2 points. Again, you can just plug a number in if you want. You can get these next 2 points here. Or you could say, hey, let's find the y-intercept, which in this case, it's going to be positive 35, which would be way up here. And then you can find the one across. Or you can just plug in 2 other points in your equation. So maybe I plug in a 3 and a, you can plug in whatever you want. But you plug in 2 other points to get the rest of your parabola. Last thing I want to remind you is please make sure you show some work because there are points on the work. And then if I ask you for the axis of symmetry, here's your parabola, it goes like this. Okay, remember the equation for the axis or line of symmetry is always x equals, maybe it goes through 7. So just make sure you write it as an equation. And then one last thing, if you're writing coordinates, make sure you have parentheses around them. So if it's 5, comma 4, you have parentheses. So now you're going to work on a review sheet. The sub does have an answer key, so make sure you're checking when you are done. I also posted it in Schoology, so you can double check it there. If you have questions, I'm not here to answer them, so please ask someone in class if you are stuck on something. But you will be taking the quiz tomorrow.